Member-supported KUNV HD2 Las Vegas, the broadcast service of UNLV.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any agency of KUNV or its affiliates.
Russell Mays, recipient of the Associated Press Citation Award for breaking news coverage, author of Fear Profits You Nothing and Tell 'Em Anything, holder of 2 patent pendings, awarded diplomas in architectural and mechanical engineering, certification in avionics and radar system operations and development, United States Air Force, diploma in film and television production and performance, winner of the Good Citizenship Award from the Daughters of the American Revolution, and an all-around good egg.
And a good morning. It is a Saturday once again, and it is a Saturday the 13th. I'm Russell Mays. You are listening to KUNV HD2, broadcast services of the UNLV, right here on campus. And a good morning, good morning, good morning. We're about a minute after the hour of 8, and it is a nice day out there today, as a matter of fact. It's going to be a glorious day out there. We're looking at about 63 degrees here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The delays are working once again, here in the studios in the basements. Kept us down where we're supposed to be kept down at. So I hope you enjoy the show. There's a lot of weird things that are going on right now. And got to wave to all the friends that are popping on, watching live. Also the ones that are listening on the internet broadcast, podcast, however you want to do it. And those here in Las Vegas also. So what do we have going on? Quite a bit of interesting stuff has happened over the week. Weird stuff. Okay. First off, I got my Superman hat on. Thank you, Kanye West. And got to make sure doing that. These people have gone absolutely off the deep end. The media has. I simply cannot. How do I want to say this? I have to watch the other news stations just to see what is being said. And I'm flabbergasted. I just can't believe that they actually go this far. And what I mean by that is the left, the Democratic Socialist Party, which is well becoming what it's known. And if you want to join in, you can give me a call at 702-895-3915. I'll get you on the air and see what we can complain about if you want to. But what the media left is doing is they're constantly telling us how they are the people or the party for the people, if you will. We consider everybody tolerant and everything else. But yet when Kanye West went into the Oval Office and spoke with Donald Trump, they called him every name in the book. Check it out. I'm just going to show it to you here. This is what it was being reported. CNN, goodness gracious, it's backwards. But it says, Kanye West segment on CNN labeled as racist. They were calling singer token Negro of the Trump administration. Do you believe this? I mean, come on. This man, okay, he was ranting on a few things, but he had some good stuff to say. He really did have some good points. But they don't care about that. They only hate the fact that he went and talked to Trump. Why? I mean, Don Lemon on CNN, oh my God. He loves every black person out there unless you're talking to Trump. Then you're some kind of an evil person that needs to be taken down. Why is that? Why is it that anybody that wants to be on the right and make America great again is evil? But yet you have nothing good to say about this country. Anyway, it's, how do you want to say it? It's like the country is the worst country in the world, but if you're out there fighting to make it a good country, then you're worse than the country itself. It's really disconcerting. It really is, that to see so many people buy into all this political rhetoric going on. Now, I am going to have to say this about Trump, though. He did enjoy the conversation with Kanye West. There is no doubt about it. And yes, it was used as a little bit of a political ploy. But you also have to understand, Trump knew that just by him coming in there and sitting down in the Oval Office, that it would twerk and tweak the left so bad that they couldn't even see straight. Now, if you look at this, Jim Brown, who was there also, and another woman, I don't even know who the other woman was, said very little. Absolutely said very little. Their plight in life, especially Jim Brown's, had serious racial issues when he was playing ball. He had to actually fight racism. And he brought it all good to the United States, making it a good foundation for American people. Kanye West is utilizing that to get the word out. Maybe he's not doing it as eloquently as Martin Luther King was, or some of the other racial folks that were trying to better our country. However, look at who's against him. The Republican Party didn't say anything against them. The Republican Party is sitting there saying, great, let's get this thing working. But you have Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, all of them are trashing Kanye West. They didn't keep their cattle prods off of Jim Brown and the other woman. They just restrained themselves. They went for Kanye, because that Jim Brown would be the third rail for them too. So because of the political BS that's going on in this country over this, makes it interesting in how they have to play the game. They have November 6th elections coming up. And they want to keep, or they want to take over the House and the Senate. And if we do, I am going to predict doom and gloom. And if anybody was reading any of my posts and blogs or Twitters over the course of the last few days, I have to say that I predicted it pretty well, that once the Kavanaugh confirmation, or Judge Kavanaugh, was sworn in, you won't hear anything about Dr. Ford. Once it happened, not a word about her. Nobody was protesting saying, Hey, what's going on? You just see a few protests out there. I'm a survivor, that kind of thing. Well, everybody's a survivor too. So, but what it's gone to is so far off the deep end on this, is where accusations override our judicial system now, unless you're on the Democratic Left Socialist Party. And then if an accusation will get you hung, simple as that. And the reason why I'm even going here, even after Kanye West did his little monologue, he had some good things to say. Let's see, CNN, Rock Reference, political commentator Scott Jennings, the only white panelist, appeared to absolutely stun at the comment Lemon made at the point, and they were criticizing their own. What did they say? Token Negro, of course. Setmeyer said the panelists burst out laughing when expanse racial black folks. It drives me nuts that if you people really want to utilize racism as a mean to get other people to vote, both right or left, it doesn't matter. If you want to use racism as the reason to get people motivated to vote, and you people that are out there getting motivated because of racism, this country's in deep, deep doo-doo. Everything that Martin Luther King Jr. did and marched for is a waste. If you allow our politicians to make up your mind to vote right or left because of racism, don't do that. Don't do that. This is a country, as much as I despised Obama's political views and how he ran this country, he was a black man that became president because of Martin Luther King and the things that he brought to this country. Even now, Obama is out trashing our country in other countries, right along with Hillary, too. Why would you do that if you loved our country so much? Why would you do that if you think you're trying to betterment of a racial policy in our country? And it just doesn't extend to just blacks. It's Hispanics, and yes, even whites are being racial discriminated against. So don't bear this flag of racism to get your vote. Is your life better? Are you happier the way the country is now than it was before? And I'm going to tell you, if you really think that we should have a socialist party and you should impeach Kavanaugh and Trump and Pence, and that's what they're pushing now, is to impeach them, then by all means get out and vote November 6th and vote the Democratic Party in office. If you honest to God believe that our country has gone in the dirt because of Trump, then vote him out of office. Vote the Republicans out of office. Bring in the Socialist Democratic Party. Bring in Bernie Sanders. Bring in the communists and the Marxists. Do it. That's what you want. Do it. However, if you believe that this country is finally on a good trek, and I do believe it is, I believe that we are headed for good prosperity. in this country, then get out there and vote also. Vote your belief that this country is on the right track and vote Republican. Vote for a better existence and a better lifestyle. Vote non-radicalism, where you don't have to be abused. I mean, I had my car keyed because I had a Trump bumper sticker on it. I had to file a police report because of the harassment phone calls that I had. I actually had to block people on my accounts, Twitter and Facebook, because of my point of view. Do you want to live a life like that? Look what they just did to the Republican National Headquarters. Antifa started, graffitiing it and stuff. And the call to arms to be a violent people, to get out there and get into the faces of the opposition. Senators are being shot for playing softball just because of their point of view. Why? Why? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why? Please. Please, people. We are headed into a very violent stage of our country because of our political beliefs. And the radicalism is getting way, way, way out of hand. Even what the media is presenting, if you will, is taking it to an extreme that shouldn't even be there. Shouldn't even been mentioned. But Kanye had some good things to say. He really did. He did rattle bomb off a lot. And he knew the cameras were on him. So did Trump, to be honest with you. But that's not the point. The point is, he wanted to say his 2 cents. And because he is Kanye West, he got his chance to say his 2 cents. And then, of course, he gets ridiculed for it, no matter which side it'll be on. The only chance that you have to say your 2 cents is in the voting booth. And I still stick to my beliefs that if you do not vote and exercise the only freedom that you have, then don't talk to me. Not to say that you can talk to me about kitty cats on the internet or how nice the sky looks and everything else. But if you want to get political and talk about issues that are happening in our country because of our politicians, then vote. But if you don't vote, don't even talk to me about politics. And everybody knows me. I'm very political. I've been denied a lot because of my political views. To be honest with you, when I went out to get a specific job, certain people got there first and told them not to hire me because of my political views. But that's okay. Because if I don't believe and stand up for what I am, then I'm nothing. I'm a sycophant, a slave to whatever I'm available at. And many of our youth are now slaves to not only to technology, but also to a socialist view that will actually be detrimental to our country. Oh, I've got to say good morning to Andy. He's saying good morning from Hartsville. That's where I grew up on the farm. Hartsville, New York. Hey, brings back memories. I hate cows. But that's okay. And I hate cold weather too. So, just you guys up in New York that are listening in on me, winter's coming, and I'll make sure that I'll sit outside on the patio, and wish you all the best when it hits. Okay. So that was really nice. I needed to have a little warm hello from Hartsville. Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate that very much. So, anyway, getting back to it, there is one story that I really wanted to get into. But this Conway, let's see, Kanye's latest, they were just trashing his monologue, too, in front of a room full of reporters. Jim Brown, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, smirked through the pairs, and let's see, pardon for Larry Hoover, a Chicago gang leader currently serving 6 consecutive life sentences. Okay. He called the mega hat, which that's the reason why I'm wearing it today. And this is to give kudos to Kanye West for wearing it. And yes, I do feel like Superman wearing this hat. Absolutely, I really do. But he makes a good point. The way the press and the television stations and even the TV shows are coming through are pointing at how Trump is bad and what it's all, it's just a big joke. And it's becoming very vicious. And the viciousness needs to stop. If you do not like what's being presented to you, say so. Discuss it. Talk about it. Write to your congressmen and your senators. Go to the voting booth and vote. But why you have to burn things, why you have to break windows, why you have to shoot people, destroy their properties and businesses, what does stealing somebody's television set out of a store promote your point of view? What does destroying somebody's car to promote your point of view is going to make me want to join your side? How can you people do that? Why would you people do that? You take somebody's livelihood and destroy it just because you don't like the way they are. I hate to tell you, that's a form of racism. It's a political racism. If you don't like somebody because of the color of his skin and you destroy their home, that's evil. But if you don't like somebody because of the way they think, that is also just as evil if you destroy it. The only time when Ted Cruz got ran out of the restaurant and when Sarah Sanders got run out of the restaurants is because somebody coordinated that. Somebody saw that, called up, did a post or whatever, and say, hey, so-and-so is down here. Let's go down and harass them. We're going to get more into this in just a few moments. Got to take a quick brief intermission here. Be right back. This is Russell Mays.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is member-supported KUNV HD2 Las Vegas, the broadcast service of UNLV.
Okie dokie. We are back once again. And we're talking about Kanye West and a lot of things that the left is doing in the media to him, or at least talking about him. They won't abuse him as much as they will Trump along those lines, but that's okay. He was talking about, there's a section that he was mentioning while he was there, and let me flip through here real quick and find it. I made a note of it, because it was really interesting. I was talking about Tesla, here it is, and it said, he said, he was talking about he was being diagnosed with a sleep disorder, bipolarism, and of course the press jumped all over that saying he's mentally twisted. But that's okay. But he was also, he says, we can empower the pharmaceuticals and they make more money for not diagnosing them or for just covering up the symptoms. And everybody knows this. One of the issues that I have when it comes to something like that is, why are the pharmaceutical companies allowed to run ads on television saying, if this is how you feel, then talk to your doctor and get them to prescribe this particular drug? This is just a twisted form of advertising, because people are hypochondriacs, if you will. Oh, my leg feels funny. I better get a restless leg syndrome and run to the doctor, and the doctor prescribes this drug, who gets a kickback on the drug medication. In my idea of what is going on is, if you see what happens with the medical industry in itself, it is an industry, is you have to have that medical degree to diagnose and prescribe a cure or a treatment. So that's what the pharmaceutical companies are doing, except for they tag that, please consult your physician. But they diagnose it. You have a symptom. Here's your symptoms. This is the cure for the symptoms. Please talk to your doctor and get it resolved with our drug. That right there violates the proverbial Hippocratic Oath or the medical association's rules and regulations, in my mind. But there's always a way around it, especially when there's big money involved with it when it comes to medications. Which brings me to a certain issue about pharmaceutical companies and doctors and people empowering others with the pharmaceuticals. And I hate to admit it, Michael Jackson is a big case for this. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with a lot of these proverbial tolerant people in the entertainment industry and getting what they want. Once they surround themselves with yes people, they will get anything they want. Any drugs, any medication, any whatever. And yet when they get caught at it, then it's, oh, poor me, help me out, I've got a problem, blah, 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 blah. Harvey Weinstein. Okay, so I had to throw that in there a little bit. But after the person dies, i.e. Michael Jackson, everybody lined up along the road. Thousands and thousands of people came to his funeral. It was a week long of memorials and how sad it was. And yes, it was. But where were all those people when he was being given those drugs over years and years and years? The reason why he died, in my personal opinion, and I'm no doctor, the reason why he died because of drug overdose is they jacked him up so much so he could perform that last show to the standard and style that he was once doing. But the reason why he couldn't perform to those standards and style is because of all the drugs they were giving him over the period of time, and they just fried this man. And he was so far gone mentally that he didn't know when to say when. Good case for overdose. If you're doing overdose, rehab and trying to quit and all this kind of stuff, people don't want you to quit. People want you to fail because when you fail, it makes them feel better. But if you succeed at what you're trying to do in life, it makes others look bad because they don't want to succeed at what they're doing in life. That comes right back down to Kanye West. He wants to succeed at whatever he decides to do. But yet, his own people and the media refuses to allow him to succeed at what he wants to succeed. That's what America is about. America is not about welfare and equal rights for everybody. And, well, it is equal rights for everybody in the eye of the law. If you're a criminal, you get more rights than the honest victim. But what America is about, and our Constitution and the freedom, is you have the right to live your life the way you want to, without interference of the government. So that means if you want to build a business, you can. Unless you want to do, I don't know, you want to throw in the regulations for environmentalism. And regulations are used to hold down a lot of people trying to make a good life for them. But yet the bigger companies have the lawyers in place, have the money to get over these regulations. That's a whole nother talking point in itself later on down the year. So, so many things that are happening now. I've gone through Kanye West pretty well here. I don't think he deserved a lot of the things that he was talking about, or the criticisms, but he did say something that was interesting about the prison systems. And our prison systems are geared to give you a poor job. So if you can't make it on the outside, you can always go to prison and get 3 hots and a cot and have a job, actually, and do nothing if you want. As a matter of fact, it's estimated to be about, what is it, $40,000 a year to keep a prisoner in prison. So isn't that what people are roughly making out here in the real world? So, what do? I don't know. I'm going to change subjects a little bit, shift gears a little. One thing that just cracks me up, and it just gives you an idea on how wacky the world has become. And when I say wacky, the media is even buying into it. And yes, even Fox News. I watch Fox News because this is where I got the story from. Why they would even run this story is beyond me. And all I can say is this story came out of the Miami Herald, but the Washington Post ran it and a few other people ran it, and a lot of people picked up on it. Brooklyn witches plan a public hex on Brett Kavanaugh, and they were going to charge $10 tickets, and people bought these tickets at $10 a pop to watch a proverbial coven of witches to put a hex on Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Democrats, left, socialists, is this where you're going to now? Is putting hexes on people? I am positive you're probably going to have a whole bunch of little voodoo dolls all with pins in them now. I can't believe that people are actually... Well, that's their belief. If they believe that a hex is going to work, rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. So, it is pretty, let's see, it's going to say... But tickets for the hex are already sold out for this issue. All right, come on. I wish they would fix these auto lights from going on and off all the time, but that's the universities for you. I mean, they were running issues on alternative media here at the studio, and it was nothing about goodness for the people. I was listening to some of the songs. It was all trashing of the religion, Christianity, Jesus, and it was all about going off and doing whatever you want to, free love, you know, get down in the park, you know, that kind of stuff, whatever. Anyway, don't want to get into it because I get enough flack anyway because of my conservative views and believing in God. So, the 3-hour ritual to hex Brett Kavanaugh is set for 7 p.m. on October at Catland, a pagan bookstore in Brooklyn. You're going to have a hexing ritual in a bookstore? All right, are you ready? Tickets are $10 with a 25% of the proceeds going to Planned Parenthood. 25% going to the Ali Forney Center. Forney, I have no idea what that. Community Center for the Homeless LGBT Young People, according to the Rituals event Evan Bright page. The hex is also aimed at all rapists and patriarchy, which emboldens, rewards, and protects them. Okay. So in a sense, they're going to have a ritual to hex someone that was just accused. Pretty much validated that he did not do it. but that doesn't count for anything. This was because somebody stepped up and accused them falsely. And I'm going to tell you, rape is nothing to be taken lightly. But false accusations should have the same kind of punishment as the actual rape. That's my belief. If you rape somebody, you should be thrown away. But if you accuse somebody falsely of rape, you should have the same kind of a punishment. Oh, I know that's going to just make people go ballistic over that. Because there are liars out there, and they will falsify it. And if you've ever been accused falsely of this, you have no idea. I'm a survivor, okay? How's that, buddy? I'm a survivor. False accusations trashes your life, and you have to fight day in and day out just to regain your good name. That's what Kavanaugh is into right now. That's what his family is into right now. Are these people that are going to do this ritual and plan to give to Planned Parenthood who kills babies? Oh, wait a second. This is a coven. I guess they do want to sacrifice children. So maybe it all does tie together. So, a hexing of Brett Kavanaugh. So, where this has taken me was to, do you believe in hexes or don't you believe in hexes? And what was interesting is to Google it, you get a lot of twisted views out there. And Google loves the bad side of the world. So anyway, I pulled up this one account. It says, what are hexes? Hexes may be defined as evil or harmful spells. If putting hexes on people didn't work, people wouldn't be afraid others putting hexes on them. But why do hexes work? And how is the case? There are many fine books available on the history of hexes and even how to put hexes on others, but few books say anything on why hexes work. Just how do hexes work? Recent discoveries in quantum physics, the study of physics of subatomic particles, in the cosmology, the branches of astronomy and astrophysics that deals with the universe taken as a whole, shed on light on how mind interacts with the universe. Now, I do have to have a little bit of a benefit. I think hexes are a pain in the butt. But hexes work if you believe them to work. It also falls along the same lines as if people believe in manifestation of good wealth. You see it on Facebook all the time. If you don't pass along this post, you're going to not get the money that somebody said you're going to get. Well, my retort to that is, especially on hexes, how many times have you passed along those chain letters and posts and you got money? You'll hear someone, oh yeah, it happened to me. But if you pass along the chain on the 14th, saying that you're going to get money, and the 15th is when your payday comes, of course it worked. So, along the same lines is The Secret, and even prayer works the same way. It's the butterfly effect. It is because we're in a symbiotic relationship with our nature and stuff like that. One thing does have an effect of the other. But there also is a lot of retorts to this effect. So basically what they're saying is if somebody gets in a group with a coven and wishes bad luck on somebody else, then that bad luck will come to you. But if you believe that bad luck is strong enough to destroy your life, it probably will. I believe it's also the klutz syndrome. The reason why I despise this word klutz is because if you call somebody a klutz long enough, they will become a klutz. It's a self-reassuring manifestation. Same thing with people that are trying to lose weight. If you call them fat long enough, they're going to stay fat. Or they will do things in their life to keep them fat. Same thing with skinny people. If people are trying to gain weight and they're constantly being barraged by, oh, you're skinny all the time, how can you, and they're trying to change it, they alter their life mindset to become what people want them to be. People say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is such a lie. Bone breakage lasts 8 weeks. Word violence lasts a lifetime. How many times have you thought to yourself, why did I allow that to happen when I was in 6th grade? And you bang your head against the wall. Why did I say that? Why did I do that when I was in 6th grade? And that's because it was a life-altering moment by words or actions or whatever it may be. It's hard not to do that. We are a judgmental society. We judge people every day. And what's happening is our judgments have become a social system such as Facebook, Twitter, and stuff, which means the actions that you take on social media, you can protect yourself from saying it, but yet still hand out the devastation that you're looking to do. So if you want to trash somebody really bad, it's easier to do it on social media because you don't have to face the person you're trashing. You can always, unfriend them because I don't like the way they say something. Or I get a lot of, how dare you say something like that on my post? Well, if you don't want people to retort against your post, then don't post it. There's a lot of good things on social media. There's also a lot of bad things on social media. It's how you utilize it that makes the difference. So let me get back to the hexing here. So they're going to be hexing good old Judge Kavanaugh. Let's see. Unfortunately, most books in quantum cosmology are written in the language and ordinarily intelligent people cannot understand, moreover. So a lot of the hexes and a lot of voodooism and voodoo dolls and stuff is for people that are not well educated. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing or a good thing. This is what they want to do. This is what they want to believe in. That's perfectly fine. That's their religion. And I know I'm going to get a retorts back, well, that's what Christianity and Judaism and Islamism is the same thing. it does come down to what you believe. And if you allow it to believe and alter your life and think you're going to be able to hurt somebody, remember this little issue. If you study Wicca, and that is the art of witchcraft, warlocks are the male, witches are the females. It does talk about hexes and curses that you put on people. And it does talk about the recourse that you have to deal with for putting hexes and curses on people. Because it does say it'll come back to you 3 times over. 3 times the worse the hex that you put on a person. So if you decide to put a hex or a curse on somebody, you better think about it very carefully, because you'll get it back to you 3 times over. Read up on it, folks. But let's get to a good news about it. I pulled this up on hexes, and I got an article saying that it's stupid and doesn't exist. Then I got an article saying, yes, it does exist. And what's funny is it all comes down to your belief. Now, if you do believe that hexes are going to work, and you know somebody's putting a hex on you, so I also pulled up and says, how do you get rid of a hex? So if you're going to put a hex on somebody, you have to have somebody. This world is full of good and evil. Good and evil means there's always a counter action against for every action. It's the law of relativity, you know. If for every action there's a equal and a responding reaction or action against, or whatever. Some of them are pretty cracked me up too, man. I'm telling you. Okay. Hey, this article here is 5 awesome ways to break a hex or a curse. So we got about 8 minutes till the top of the hour. Let me see. All right. The lemon cure. All right. On the morning of a full moon, between sunrise and 1 hour after sunrise. Oh, okay, I see what it is. That was written weird. That's why I stopped. Between sunrise and 1 hour after, cut a lemon. Sprinkle the top half of each with sea salt. Sweep your aura with 1/2, and then, like you're using an energetic lint brush, about 12 to 6 inches away from your skin, and the half face up on your altar. Oh, you got to be a witch to be doing this. The next morning, again, begin the sunrise with a lemon. Oh, the lemon people are going to make money on this one. Halves in the yard waste, trash, or compact process to the lemon day straight. So that's the lemon cure. So if someone put the hex on you, go out and get some lemons, put some sea salt on it, wait for sunrise, and go ahead and have a lemon bath, I guess. Then there's the saltwater cure. By stirring water in a counterclockwise direction before you enter the water. Hold prayer pose and say, "Great Goddess, thank you for filling this water with vibrations of purification and love. Visualize the water as surrounded with brilliantly bringing, and soak for at least 40 minutes. I guess if I soaked in salt water for about 40 minutes, I'd feel pretty good too. That sounds good. All right, that's number 2. The angel cure. Obtain a Celestine crystal, cleanse it by sunlight for about 5 to 10 minutes. Hold it in both hands near your heart as you center your mind. Then say, Archangel Michael, I call to you. Thank you, clearing and purifying me of any and all Satan's energies. Archangel, I call to you. Yeah, that might work. Okay. If you're a Christian, you can believe in that God will take away the curse. Which is actually true if you really believe this. That if you're a Christian and a God-fearing person, everybody knows that Satan is trying to control the world. But he will always lose because he's the lesser of the power. God will always win. Okay. Let's see, what's the other one? Selenite and white sage cure. Using a selenite wand, sweep the area and outward. About 6 to 12 inches away from yourself. Then light the sage bundle so that it's increased intensity. Bathe in the surrounding means with the sage smoke. And then catch the burning embers in a dish, safely extinguish the sage. That will help out. So basically, since here in Nevada that smoking weed is good, I guess you don't have to worry about curses out here, because I guess weed is sort of a sage. So if you're puffing away, man, there is a curse or a hex out there that could really help you out. So, so smoke away, dudes and dudettes. No curses coming your way. The rose overdose cure. Roses to hold. Same thing with the roses. Petal flowers. Whip them around you. Keep calm and stay strong. I'm telling you, people really get whacked out there. They really do. If you believe a curse is going to be detrimental to you and you really hate it, then curses work. Hexes work also, same thing, if you believe it. Same thing with walking underneath a ladder, breaking a mirror. I go out and I gamble a lot, but I hate to tell you this. I become superstitious when I gamble because there's certain things that happen and you're going, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why can't I ever win? So what do? So now I go out and I wear the same pair of socks when I gamble, turn around 3 times, and wish. And I'm gonna tell you something, something that is very intriguing when it comes to this kind of stuff. There's 2 places that people pray to the man upstairs, and that's churches and casinos. And I'm gonna tell you, looking at the different people that pray, they're more serious when they're in the casino than they are in church. Because when they're praying in church, they're praying to win at the casinos, and they can't wait to get out of church to go to the casinos. So, if you like what you're hearing here, make a comment on my Facebook. If you liked what you heard. If you're afraid of hexes, go out and smoke a lot of pot. And that way the hex will go either way. If the hex works, you're not going to care because you're stoned anyway. I'm Russell Mays. It's been an interesting hour with Kanye West. I got my Superman hat on. and it'll make the world good again, make America great again. Let's face it, this is our country. And if we want to be like all the other countries, move there, because they do not care about the United States. We're the only ones that do care about this country. Get out and vote. I'm Russell Mays. This is KUNV. People online listening to KUNV. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Once a week, we are the Rebel HD2.